Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. We're getting closer and closer to our new year. We have a couple days left, and you're starting to see how things are ramping up. They have the whole big push the last couple days about the shooting in Atlanta, talking about the Asians and how, well, we don't know. They shot a bunch of Asian people. We don't know if it's a hate crime. But then they've been pushing the whole scenario about how Asians now for the last year since Trump, blamed the Asians for, you know, the plague, that they've been getting harassed and people have been, being racist towards them. And this is just nothing new. This is the same old, directives from the Gentiles, from the Edomites. Let's just worry about everybody else. We're not going to acknowledge what we've done. We're not going to acknowledge what we've done to the Most High's chosen people. But if anybody else has some kind of a grievance, we're going to push them out there front and center, and we all need to rally around those groups of people. See, all those old tricks don't work anymore. We don't care about what happens to the other nations as long as they do not acknowledge who we are and what we've gone through. You're not going to get any sympathy from us. The Most High said that what we would go through as a people would be worse than any other nation, anything that they've had to go through. Now, we've gone through the worst. And that whole Psalms 83, how the whole world is a tumult, has come into an agreement to keep us at the bottom. That is alive and well today. And what they've always tried to do is when something happens to someone else, we all need to come together. We all need to pray. We all need to work together. All that is trying to get our energy. They've been trying to get our energy the whole time because they have no line to the Most High. So when they keep on talking about how bad they have it, I said, until you acknowledge what we've gone through and not some just, hey, yeah, we know it's been bad. We're sorry. And then that's it. That's not going to fix it. Just like in the last video, that's not going to fix what you've done to us. And the times of us just coming together because someone else has a rough time. I said, that's 1 year. And, I said, imagine 500 plus and no one giving a damn what's happened to us. So they can save all that. They can miss us. They can miss me with all that stuff about the other nations and coming together, and us all needing to come together and these the poor Asians and what's happened to them. See, we still getting shot in the streets regularly. We're still getting killed. The cops are still getting away with it. They're choosing not to to prosecute cops for still killing us and shooting us. So when you guys go through that for 500 plus years, then you can talk to us. I see that's what these churches, are so good at, getting us to sympathize with our oppressors. No sympathy here whatsoever. And they always kind of play it off, like how many white people need to go in and kill a bunch of people? And you guys just kind of like, well, the poor Asians. Well, what about the people who are shooting all the Asians? What about the people who are shooting all the so-called black people? What about the people who are shooting all the so-called brown people? Don't they have to pay? Because they're not going to have to pay here. The system is set up for them to get off. But that's okay. Have you guys been looking at the news a little bit today? Do you hear those footsteps behind you, heathens and Gentiles? Do you see how the Most High is increasing the plague once again? See, all of a sudden, you guys have got nothing but good news. Now, all of a sudden, 14 states, the COVID is rising. The plague is rising once again. In fact, in Michigan, it had a huge jump of like 53% in 7 days. I want to say Minnesota was around 40% jump from week to week. And they said something they were worried about was how the new virus is affecting children. Then all of a sudden, there's a new couple of variants here in California. But see, I was listening to was it Cuomo on CNN? He's like, well, yeah, but we know that the vaccines here will cover all that, so we don't have to worry about that. I was like, how is it you just find a brand new variant? They're barely talking about it right now, and you're for sure that the vaccine is going to work against it. Whatever happened to follow the science? Whatever happened to going and doing some research and trying to see? No, they're just saying they just anything positive to keep everyone down and calm. They'll just say it, but that's okay. You should hear that those footsteps behind you now. And he's like, well, you know, it doesn't matter because they're talking about how Europe, they're already locking down. He's like, we're not going to lock down here. He goes, because Europe, they don't have the vaccines like we do. So the vaccines here, they don't over in Europe, they don't have the vaccines like we do. Like, are you serious? You guys, like I said, just so proud. The Europeans have vaccines too. So you guys acting like, they're locking down, but we're America. We're America. Nothing's going to affect us over here. Yeah, that would happen before, but you're under the curses now. You used to be able to, rely on the Most High blessing you and keeping you safe. That ocean keeping you safe, keeping you separated. Not anymore. So get ready to see huge jumps like this very soon. But we're going to get into something real quick. I said the Most High doesn't care about the other nations. Most High doesn't care about how they have to suffer. He's allowed you guys to have your heaven. Now, all throughout the scriptures, when it's talking about recompensing, it's always about recompensing for what was done to his children. So just because you guys go on any, something happens to another nation, all of a sudden we're supposed to be worried about the other nation. No, it's all about Israel. It's all about how you interact with Israel. I will bless them that bless thee, I will curse them that curse thee. So everything revolves around the Most High's chosen people. Doesn't revolve around blessing and cursing every other nation. But see, that's what this world has done. They made it seem like, hey, you can bless everyone except for Israel. But see, the scriptures are the total opposite. Most High is worried about how you treat his people. The Catholic Church, because it's universal, they're only worried about how you treat everyone except for Israel. But see, when the Most High comes back for judgment, he's not judging, on the notions of the priests of Mahan and their church. He's going to be, he's going to be handing out ass whoopings based off of what's in his scriptures, based on what you've done to the Most High's children, not what you've done to everyone else. We're going to read a little something real quick from the Sefer here. Okay, we're going to read from the Sefer. We're going to read Baruch, actually, is it second Baruch 24 and 25. Second Baruch, chapter 24 and 25. Let me get it going here real quick. For behold, the days come, and the Sephirim shall be opened, in which are written the sins of all those who have sinned, and again also the treasuries, in which the righteousness of all those who have been righteous in creation is gathered. For it shall come to pass, at that time that you shall see, and many and the many that are with you, the long suffering of the Most High, which has been throughout all generations, okay, who has been long suffering towards all who are born alike, those who sin and those who are righteous. Okay, so the Most High has given all of us our chances, the sinners and the righteous. Okay, hold on quick. And I answered and said, but behold, O Yahweh, no one knows the number of those things which have passed, nor yet or those things which are to come. For I know indeed that which has befallen us, but what will happen to our enemies, I know not. And when you will visit your works. So Most High, he's written in the books right here what was going to happen to us. But sometimes what's going to happen to the other nations, like we know they're going to be destroyed, but how do we know exactly how it's going to be? That's why we'd have to get into other books and get other information and other understanding. 25. And he answered and said unto me, you too shall be preserved till that time, till that sign which the Most High will work for the inhabitants of the earth in the end of days. That's where we're at right now. This therefore shall be the sign when a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth. Has that not happened right now? And they shall fall into many tribulations. And again, when they shall fall into great torments, and that's where they're at right now. And it will come to pass when they say in their thoughts, by reason of their much tribulation, the Most High no longer remembers the earth. Yea, it will come to pass when they abandon hope, that the time will then awake. The other nations are going to abandon hope. They have a little hope right now. They have a little hope right now. It's artificial. Their hope right now, I said, is artificial. It's all man-made because they've just forgotten. They're just not reporting things that are the bad things that are going on. But let's take a look at the word stupor. Okay, when a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth. I'm gonna look that up right now. Let's see here, stupor definition: a state of near unconsciousness or insensibility, a drunken stupor. Hold on real fast. Sorry about that. Now I'm back. Okay, so we got a stupor. Is that not what you see in the world right now? A state of near unconsciousness, okay, or insensibility, a drunken stupor, a daze, okay, a state of stupefaction. Yep. I said, just look at what's going on right now with this world. They don't care about the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They're very content and living a lie right now. They don't want to believe anything, but that's okay. Like I said, this is what's going on right now. This is exactly what it says right here is going to be happening right there at the top. Right there at the top. When a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth, and they shall fall into many tribulations. They're in that stupor right now. They're in a tribulation, but they're going to fall into many tribulations. And you're sitting here and you're just listening to them like we're not going to what do they say? They're not going to close down again. We're going to keep everything open. There's no way we're going to close down again. I'm like, okay, you guys are being very prideful. First, it's we need to listen to the science. Well, when the science says you need to shut down, you're just going to not listen to the science anymore, right? Because that's how you guys are. You guys don't believe in following any direction. They're in a drunken stupor right now. That's why all this truth is coming out and they're just ignoring it, not taking heed, nothing. They are in a drunken stupor right now. And that's why he said these books are hidden because they want to make it seem as if they're in control. And if you look at them, they are not in control of absolutely anything. And they're trying all the same tricks. Oh, we're gonna offer you guys some money to pay for what we did. No, you're not. Keep your money. Oh, okay. Well, these people got, they have it rough too. Why don't we all come together and pray? Nope, we're not coming together either. Nope, that's not gonna happen. Not you guys are saying who are we? How do we fit the scriptures? See, as long as you guys ignore that, we got nothing to say. But see, I did see what Biden wanted to use the church for, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did. They were at a church talking about science coming together with faith organizations and how the churches are going to be used to have people take the vaccine. So they're bringing together like the churches and the science and the politicians in order to get people to take the vaccines. And see, that's what happens when you're so stuck in these churches that you don't think for yourselves. These are the things that they can do, and they're just going to have the pastors tell you what to do, and you'll do it because you don't listen and you don't think. And that's why it says what's going to be it's going to be a stupor. The whole world's going to be in a stupor, and that's exactly what's going on. They're sitting here saying, "Well, we're so close. We just need another 6 to 8 weeks, and we're going to get through all this." So we need everyone to just be responsible and not go out and not go do this and keep your mask on and don't party. And then in the same breath, it's like, oh well, everyone's going out and partying. So is this going to be a bad? Oh no, it's not going to be bad because we got the vaccines. So even if they're out partying, it's okay. The numbers won't go up. You're just opening yourselves up for the Most High to just absolutely destroy you. And what does it talk about? Like, yeah, you guys are going to lose faith. See, and that's what happened this last few weeks. You guys have gotten all your faith in your science. You think that it's over. You think it's time for you to go back to your normal, and it's never going to happen. Let's read that verse 4 again. And it shall come to pass when they say in their thoughts, by reason of their much tribulation, actually, by reason of their much tribulations, the Most High no longer remembers the earth. It will come to pass when they abandon hope and the time will then awake. So they think that the 400 years they're not going to have to pay for. They think the Most High doesn't see all the things that they've done to us, because that's the only way you can, go about with your business right now, thinking like that. But we know otherwise. The judgment still stands. The people here, just like it talks about here in Second Baruch, think that the Most High has forgotten what's happened to His people. Just because they ignore us and they ignore what they've done to us, doesn't mean the Most High has. And we know that that is not true whatsoever. And we're going to read a few scriptures that kind of goes along with this right here, okay? So just trying to get us to take our eye off the ball and worry about other nations and what their plight is. Well, shoot, we we would be doing that a lot because that's what's about to happen to all the other nations. All the other nations are about to get it. Let's go to Jeremiah 16 and 17. Jeremiah 16 and 17. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. Jeremiah 16 and 17. So just because you want us to worry about what's happening to Asians and any other group, Most High is not worried about that. Most High is worried about what you've done to his people. And that's what happens. You take in our book and try to make it a universal book. The Most High is not worried about all the other nations. The Most High is worried about what has happened to his people. So see, when the Hebrews are reading their scriptures, they have the correct understanding. When the other nations take our books and try to apply it to everyone, it doesn't work. The Most High has always been about his people. He's not about worrying about everyone else. But see, that's what they'll try to push on us when they're doing the news. Oh, you guys, we're all equal. We all need to work together. We all need to worry about each other. Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah, I'm the Hebrews brothers keepers. We're not keepers of all humanity. We're not keepers of all the Gentiles or the heathen. That's not us. That's not our job. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to Second Esdras 16 and 54. Get there. Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 54. Behold, the Lord knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. So Most High already knows about what you guys are going to do. He already knows your hearts. He knows that your hearts are not about taking care of the Most High's chosen people. You'll try to help take care of everyone else, but you won't try to do absolutely anything for us. But you'll try to get us to jump in there with you, and pray for you guys because that's what you guys want. You always want our prayers because our prayers are the ones that are being heard by the Most High. But they're not going to be heard trying to help you anymore. Let's go to Jeremiah 16:19. And that's one thing with the other nations. You don't see them talking about scriptures. You don't hear like that's really gone down the wayside for them now. Not trying to break down scriptures anymore. Jeremiah 16:19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So you guys trying to make us pray for the other nations. It shows you right here. You guys have no understanding. That's what happens. That's huge understanding when you've taken our book and try to make it apply to everyone when it was never written that way. Let's get some more. Hold on real fast. Going through some of my notes here. Because like I said, the other nations, they're not trying to use the Bible to prove anything that's happening right now. They're awfully quiet with the scriptures. You don't hear them saying much of anything about the scriptures anymore. Romans 9:22 through 23. Romans 9:22-23. What if the Most High is willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? He's given you 500 plus years, Gentiles and heathens. He's given you guys a lot of time. He was showing his wrath to us, and he was using you with much long suffering, the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. He made you so he can destroy you, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. So the riches, not the $100 million you're trying to offer us, The Most High is going to bring his riches to his people. This is what you're seeing right now. That switch of them making these vessels fitted to destruction, bringing them down to the bottom, making them the tail. And then the Most High is moving his people back to the head. Again, and that's what's going on in 23. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. That's what the Most High is doing right now. And see, this is talking about the prayers. This is what they're trying to do when they try to get us to all come together when, all to rally around some other heathens. Enoch 97 and 4. This is Enoch 97 and 4. The righteous shall have deemed worthy, okay, of having your prayers rise up in remembrance, and shall have deposited them in testimony before the angels, that they might record the sin of the sinners in the presence of the Most High. So our prayers are sent up there, so they might be record the sin of the sinners. So when we're praying for destruction, we're praying for restoration. We're praying so the Most High remembers the sin of the sinners. So we're not praying so that you guys can get back to normal and put us back at the bottom. That's not what we're praying for. This is what it's talking about here in Enoch 97 and 4. That we might have, we can record the sin of the sinners. And that's what we're doing right now. And right now, so and them forgetting what's going on. Like I talked about that, being in a stupor, and then thinking that the Most High has forgotten, what they've done to us. Let's talk about that real fast. Let's go to Siroc or Ecclesiasticus, Siroc 5 and 4. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering. He will in no wise let thee go. So see, that's what the Gentiles and the heathen are talking about right now. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Again, let's read that again. Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering. He will in no wise let thee go. He's not going to let you guys go. You guys might say, I haven't sinned. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. The Most High has been keeping track and keeping everything ready for when he brings back recompense. It'll be a justified recompense. Let's go again to Sirach 16. Sirach 16 and 12 through 14. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth a man according to his works. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrate. Okay? So again, right here, he judges a man according to his works. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils. You're not going to escape with what you've taken from us. Offering us $100 million when you've taken ungodly sums of our resources, our lives, everything, our pride, and everything. You don't get away with it, and you're not going to be able to change so that we are worried about other nations and what they're going through. Because you have not worried about anything that we've gone through. Now is the time to stand up and say the truth. Everything revolves around the Most High's chosen people. You can't take our books and make it seem like they're universal books and it applies to everyone, because it doesn't. And when you go through all these scriptures, this is exactly what you're talking about right now. Most High, disciplines us. He uses you to do it, the Gentiles and the heathens. But then after we're done with our punishment, the Most High restores his children. And you guys don't want to hear anything about the restoration of his children. So you ignore everything that you've done to us. Hold on, going to more. Let's see here. Mm. Sirach 17. Let's go there. Sirach 17, 22 through 27. The alms of a man is as a signet with him, and he will keep the good deeds of man, okay, as the apple of the eye, and give repentance to his sons and daughters. Afterwards he will rise up and reward them, and render their recompense upon their heads. But unto them that repent he granted them return, and comforted those, okay, that failed in patience. Return unto the Lord, and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face, and offend less. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going to 27. Turn again to the Most High, and turn away from iniquity, for he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thou abomination vehemently. Who shall praise the Most High in the grave, instead of them which live and give thanks? So like I said, it's the same thing over and over again. See, the other nations, I said they don't understand that because they still think that it's all about everyone. Everyone is, and the thing is, for the last 500 plus years, it was about everyone except for us, about us being at the bottom, and them, living it up, on us, on our backs. So you can say it's universal, Catholic, universal. It's everyone but us. But going forward with the Most High, it's us only, us and no one else. And that's what's going on right now. You got the Gentiles who are going to cleave. The Most High is waking up. So that's a beautiful thing. If you've been, called by the Most High to get this information, to get this understanding, and follow our power and cleave to His children, so that's a huge blessing. Because all of us deserve nothing. We don't deserve anything. The Most High, we haven't done anything to deserve, what we're getting. The blessings the Most High is bringing us. The people of the Most High, the Israelites, we didn't do anything to deserve it. The other nations that are cleaving, they didn't do anything to deserve it. It's all a gift from the Father, and that's why we got to put all praises to the Most High and give Him all the glory, because He's the one that deserves it. So we're not falling for any more of these tricks from the Gentiles and the heathens anymore. You can see now, like I said, the tide is turning. They don't want to admit it, but that's okay. It said that in Second Baruch that they weren't going to be admit it, and they were going to be in a drunken stupor, and that's exactly what you see right now. They have no hope, and they have nothing but death and destruction coming to the ones who have not you know accepted the Most High and cleaved to the Most High's chosen people. So don't fall for the okey doke with these people and the things that they're actually trying to bring out. Don't believe all the great news that they like love to just talk about every day, because nowhere, like I said, we said what Disneyland is life that great, and we know that this world is not a Disneyland. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.